Welcome to the Bakeville Motorsports Power Hour. Mike Griffith with the Bakersfield Californian here for, probably around the 100th, 102nd show. We lost count somewhere around this season, but I've got Blake Bowser from Auto Club Famoso Raceway here for the couple segments. He'll be on the next segment.
Yeah.
He's in here to help me out, talk about what kind of happened in racing this week. And pretty big racing weekend, although you were off.
We were off, but I was tuned in. I watched some of the U.S. Nationals. That's our biggest drag race of the year.
That would be the U.S. Nationals in Indianapolis for the drag racing, the Big Go.
Yeah, the Big Go. So I have been there a couple of times. Pretty cool place to go to. And
I was there once.
Yeah.
1979, 32-car top field.
Yeah.
And that's when Doug Kerhulis had just started in
Top Fuel.
Top Fuel.
Yeah.
And was it 78, 79? Somewhere right around there. And went back with Doug. Actually went back with the crew.
Yeah.
Towed the car back for a feature I did.
Yeah.
In they called the old 2x, what were they, 3x3s? The old dually trucks.
Oh yeah, with the little sleeper cab.
Yeah, with the little Chevy truck with the 100-gallon fuel tank and whatnot.
That's big time then, man.
And,
you were
oh,
high
it was
class
big time.
Yeah.
So actually, before I ever covered an Indy 500, which I covered many, I saw a U.S. Nationals.
Yeah.
Pretty nice place out there.
It's cool. It's really cool. Yeah.
Good deal. We'll get to that a little bit.
Yeah.
We got the American flag here from my predecessor, who's now gone. It's America. And that we've been covering this for a long time, as long as Bill Dunlap has been racing, and longer. And that's a picture of Bill Dunlap in the high-speed car there.
Yeah.
Who won the first California Hot Rod Reunion 24 years ago.
Right.
Won last year's California Hot Rod Reunion, and will be at the 25th one coming up here in October.
I know they plan to. They're still having some issues getting that chassis ready. They bent it up a little bit, and I know there's I forget what shop it goes to. One of the chassis builders. They're just such a backlog of work that they're hoping to get it.
Wow, that'd
straightened
be a shame
out.
if he could have.
I think they'll be there. If they got to borrow someone's car,
they need to move Mr. Dunlap to the front of the line there.
Got a pretty important race coming up in about a month. Yeah.
So got that, and we had a little race. We got Fast Trip All Area Team coming up for the second year.
That's
Last
going to be in
year,
December, right?
Yeah, we had about 50 drivers last year, and I was just counting today. We got a couple more. Nick Spainhoward won his second straight third of the season at Bakersfield Speedway. He's on it, so got a couple more. So I think we're at 31 drivers, and we'll talk about it in your segment coming up, but there's going to be some more drag racers because you're finishing up your Summit Series.
Sounds like you better get started on that thing.
So got some more there. Yeah, I better start getting some mug shots. That's the most important thing there is to have mug shots of all these guys.
Yeah, and gals.
And gals. They're there, and we've already got some.
We've already got some of those,
qualified.
Exactly.
And here's the start of Darlington. Big race, which NASCAR moved back to Labor Day a few years ago, which should never have been moved off of Labor Day at Darlington. A big crowd at Darlington.
Yeah.
They've had suffered like everybody has from lower car counts, but not at Darlington on Labor Day weekend. Huge crowd for that race. Kevin Harvick started on the pole by virtue of points because there's a little hurricane wetted things up on Friday, so they didn't even go to the track. Led the most laps in this race. Dominated this race, went in first on about the next to last pit stop.
Yeah, and that was
came out 12th.
Yeah,
over 14 seconds. Just a horrible pit stop.
Ended up finishing second, I think.
Ended up finishing second, but
too bad.
Boy, they lost that in the pits, no doubt. Martin Truex won, and Harvick was trying to chase him down there at the end, but just didn't have the car at that time. So second place finish for Harvick, but nobody's happy. His crew chief Rodney Childers tweeted after the race that they were pretty unhappy. Thought they had the car to beat, and they did. But
it's like finishing last. I mean, I know they finished second. And had they shown up, said you're going to finish second, they probably take it.
But when you dominate and when you just literally blow it in the pits, and that's not the first time this year. So that might be a concern entering the chase.
Yeah.
Casey Mears, like many people at Darlington, long green flag run to start the race. A lot of cars lapped down, and he finished 25th there at Darlington. So, and Ryan Reed is 13th, Darlington. And one more race before the chase starts. The Cup guys, they go, and the Xfinity guys will be in Richmond next Saturday night for the Cup guys. Friday night for the Xfinity Series, and that will determine the chase fields. So some racing there.
Set. NHRA's chase is set.
Chases set.
Countdown's
The countdown's
all in
almost
place,
ready
so-
for Cup. One more race and only a couple
Yeah.
of positions left up for grabs there. But while Darlington was interesting, the real race that got a lot of notice was the Camping
Yeah.
World Truck Series race up on the road course outside of Montreal. And here's the finish. And you just got to watch this because
Yeah.
this is wild.
Yeah, and I happened to tune in.
Cole Custer's leading here, and John Nemechek wants that spot. Doesn't get it there. Gets it and says, I'm going to make sure I get it.
Yeah. And if you heard the audio, which I can't, but maybe they are, but both are just under. I mean, just on the throttle.
Yeah, they're on
just
the throttle the whole way
the
down
whole
there.
way. Yeah.
And
yeah.
It took NASCAR a long time to figure out who won this race.
Well,
Because
they
there were
both
some
wanted to
people
get the
coming.
flag. Yeah, they both thought they
And,
were the winner. It was fun there at the end.
It was fun. It was boys will be boys. And
Yeah, here we
here's
go.
John Nemechek.
Give me that
John
flag.
Hunter Nemechek wants the flag. He says,
Yeah.
I won this race.
And then he
Cole,
started to run. Yeah.
Cole Custer is none too happy. And
Yeah,
Cole Custer's
yeah.
from Southern California. Actually raced a couple times out at KCRP a few years back. A couple young guys here. But you've got to understand the frustration of Cole Custer there. I mean,
Yeah.
when NASCAR sorted this out and looked at the video in the dirt, Nemechek was ahead, which you could see. Nobody on the
stayed.
track beat him there.
Yep.
And Nemechek got the win, but at any short track that I've ever been to out here in California, Nemechek doesn't win that
Yeah,
race. He's put to
yeah.
the rear,
Yep.
DQ'd for rough driving. But they don't do that at the top level of NASCAR.
Yeah.
It's boys will be boys, and I've never seen anybody DQ'd for anything like that.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Although it'd been interesting if they got up there, and Chris, if you can show that slide again, got up on that guardrail and come up near that starter tower,
starter
or some
tower
parts
there.
flew up there to that starter tower.
Yeah.
But it's not a guardrail there; it's a
Yeah.
wall. But still, it's a pretty wild finish there. But you
Yeah.
got to think maybe sometimes I'm sure NASCAR is talking about it behind closed doors
Yeah.
because that's a little dangerous.
Yeah, maybe next time they just say, okay, both of you guys are sorry. And then that third place truck right there is the winner.
Although
So,
Cole
you know.
had nothing.
Yeah, but it might just prevent
Cole was
something in the
totally
future.
Yeah,
he was
he
a
had nowhere
victim.
to go.
He had
He
nowhere to
was
go.
forced into
Yeah,
the wall
yeah.
by Nemechek, forced off the track, forced in the
Yeah.
wall, and
Yeah, the
all I'm
race
saying
actually
is
ran a little long. I
at
tuned in
Bakersfield
for
Speedway,
drag racing. It was
KCRP,
fun. Yeah.
Hanford, Tulare, Nemechek's not the winner.
Yeah, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So we got that. But then we also had Indianapolis,
We had a
the big
couple
goal,
of things happen there.
a big
Yeah.
race, and we got some video here that
Yeah.
Chris has from the drag races. Robert Height had a pretty big
Yeah, I think that was Friday night, I think it
explosions
was.
Friday
Maybe
night.
Friday night.
We've got
yeah,
it here,
yeah.
and this was scary.
When the car was hauling. Yeah.
for a couple of reasons here.
Yeah. He just about took out the
Almost
car in the
took
left
out
lane. Yeah.
The car, and that could have just been horrendous had he
yeah.
been another half a car up. Slid in right behind him,
Yeah.
pops out. Look at this, is so
Robert,
just
I mean,
amazing that
I'm sure
that
Robert
was
was
not
working
worse.
hard, and he did an amazing job keeping that car.
Oh, yeah, I
just
mean-
away long enough for the other car to go by, and
Yeah,
he
because
said
that other guy
afterwards
was.
he had no indication, nothing, just
He
immediately
said, "Yeah,
just
it
went
did.
up.
It
So,
did not make it." And there is,
Yeah.
and the amazing thing is, he's being interviewed right after.
Yeah.
and no worse for wear, and
Yeah.
just said it
just went.
It
Yeah.
blew up.
And they
and-
worked all night and got another car ready, and they were there the next day.
Yeah,
so
but scary deal. And then Ron Capps, another friend of Formosa Raceway.
yeah, Ron had a weird deal happen there.
He goes
Late
through
shoots
here
or no shoots,
and no parachutes. He got the
yeah.
win, and they're talking, they're celebrating, and then the TV
Nice
people
run.
finally realize, hold it,
Wait a
there's
minute,
no
he's
parachutes.
still going too quick. Yeah.
And
They finally come out there, but too little, too late. Yeah, and it just pitched him right there. That's what it's there for. It's there to stop you. Unfortunately, he was stuck upside down there for a while, and they build these nice, really cool catch areas, but they're hard to get to. They're hard to get trucks into them. So he had to sit there for a bit. I'm sure it felt like an eternity when he was sitting there
Yeah.
upside down like that, and good thing
And,
it wasn't on fire or anything.
And that's
so.
what he said afterwards. But he actually went in there, and Rod has done some other types of racing. He's done some dirt track racing for fun. And he basically was going to go in there and try to slide
Try
the
and
car.
slide job it.
Slide
Yeah.
job the car to keep it out of the fence and bring it to a halt. And obviously that didn't work too well. And he interviewed right after this too.
Yeah.
Very emotional.
Yeah.
Very
yeah, I
worried
mean,
because
you
he
can-
says hanging there upside down you
They
can't
said
get
it was
out.
only about 3 minutes, but I'm sure it just feels
Yeah,
like
because
it's
you can't get out, and he's
forever.
worried
You can't
about
do
fire.
anything. Yeah, yeah.
And it's not on fire, but it might get on fire. You know, you're hanging upside, and there's literally no way out of this funny car
Well,
when
and-
it's upside down, because the way out of these cars is through
There's
the
that
roof.
hatch that's upside down right now.
And-
Yeah,
and
they
he's
can
on
get out
top
the
of it.
side windows maybe, but if it's at all compressed down, he's
Yeah,
pretty
and
much
he's
just
hanging
waiting
upside
there.
down,
Yeah,
and there's no way out of that car. And
yeah.
the safety crew is there and got
There
him
he
out,
is.
and they got a new car together and went racing the next day as well.
Yeah,
But that was for the
Yeah.
$100,000 race.
Yeah, that was,
and
it was a big weekend there.
big weekend. You
A lot
had-
of, the shootout for the funny cars, and the points were big, and obviously the last few spots for the countdown were clinched, and now that all starts. So that's turned into always has been a big drag
Always
race,
been a
but
big
now
drag
there's
race.
so much more added to
It
it.
seems to go on forever. You say, how many qualifying runs do they
Yeah, I
get?
think
Well,
they get
the answer
five, I
is
think.
5.
Yeah, I think it's
which
5,
which
yeah.
is one more, but it
Yeah.
seems like there's more
Yeah.
because it's so
Yeah.
many days. They start that Friday, and then they
Yeah.
have the
Well, the actual race starts on Wednesday, but
Wednesday.
the field cars run Friday, Saturday, Sunday
and then they
qualifying.
have the
Yeah, they race on Monday.
$100,000
Yeah.
shootouts on Saturday and stuff. So.
And they were all testing the previous weekend, so they're there for quite a while. Yeah.
And one more thing, we had the Italian Grand Prix Formula One race, obviously in Italy. The Ferraris did not win.
Ooh.
No. Well, they don't win anyway because it's the Mercedes cars winning. But Nico Rosberg got the win. Lewis Hamilton qualified on the pole, had a horrendous start. It was like way, way late on the light, as we would say in drag racing.
Yeah.
Dropped back to about 50, finished second. 7 races to go. Hamilton's 2 points up over Rosberg, so going to be a heck of a fight to the finish in Formula One. And with that note, we'll be back in a little bit with the Auto Club Famoso Raceway segment on the Power Hour.